Hi guys, welcome to Nursery Podcast. My name is Lee. My guest today is Bobby Makar. Am I saying that right?
Makar, yep, that's right.
And he has I'm going to plug you without even asking. He has a website called Film-Makar.com. Go there first and foremost if you're an Ohio person with a, say, like quirky sense of humor or like off the wall. If you like also referential humor, right?
Yeah, and zombies. Also.
Zombies,
yeah.
Yeah, the way I was introduced to Bobby Makar is my friend Brandon. If you go back and listen to an episode called Energy Drinks and Poop, you'll hear his voice. And what he does is he sometimes does comedy skits with me in a thing called Bullskit Productions. You go on bullskit.com. It's just home videos of fun like things and like little stories we wrote, short films. And Brandon went to film school, or journalism, mass communication to be exact, with you, right?
That's correct.
And you, so I know Bobby listeners through the veins of like independent film in Ohio, which is like a really small vein.
Well, the first time I remember being like acquainted with you, it was at Brandon's wedding, because I shot Brandon's wedding, and then you gave legitimately the best man speech I've ever heard in my life.
Oh,
it was
thanks,
fantastic, and I was blown away. And so ever since then, I've been a fan.
Oh, great. See, that's cool. It's better to hear it from your perspective, because I didn't even know you liked that. You're probably the only one that thought that way, even.
And I shoot weddings all the time, and admittedly, a lot of those speeches blow, but that one blew me away.
That's cool.
It was a blow in a good way.
Good, man. There's always good kinds of blows, you know?
Yeah, good blow.
Yeah. But,
that's going to be a soundbite, and I can't run for mayor anywhere.
I know, right?
Good blow.
It's really good blow. It's more of a job. No, sorry. But anyways, another way that now the reason I sought you out to interview you is because not only do we have a connection through making fun films and things like that, and your education with my friend Brandon, but also just coincidentally, you seem to follow some of the same threads as me, though you're more educated on the subjects. But Kevin Smith kind of looms large in your life.
I would kill or die for Kevin Smith.
Yeah, and that's something that just I don't know why I even ended up on this, but I started listening to Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, which is a podcast, and
it's a great podcast.
Yeah, and I didn't necessarily consider myself a Kevin Smith buff, but just the way his demeanor is on those things just really attracts the listener.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100% yes.
And then I saw a photo of you with him on your Facebook, and I was like, oh man, of course Bobby likes Kevin. Yeah, of course he would get into the idea of getting inside of a filmmaker's head in any way he could, right?
Right. Absolutely. That was Kevin Smith did a Red State tour where he toured the movie.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And so he did a Q&A afterwards, and I got to ask him a question. It was actually the second time I'd met him, but somebody in the audience shot a photo of it. It was legitimately one of the best moments of my life.
Nice.
And it was he's got his arm around me. It looks like we're old pals, but it was fantastic.
That's so cool. What kind of, did you get to ask him a question on stage? Is that what that was? When you got up there?
Yeah, at the time he was retiring from filmmaking.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And so he since has not retired, but he said that he was going to retire, and I got up there, and I was just so goddamn nervous, I couldn't think, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm so nervous. He goes, oh, let me come down there. So he came down and put his arm around me. I think my question was it was why did you never make a autobiographical piece about growing up? And so, because his childhood upbringing really was kind of the backbone for everything he did. Mm-hmm. And so he didn't really have much of an answer that I can remember. Yeah. But again, I was kind of blacking out.
You were flustered,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Well,
and
that's cool.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was fucking great. So yeah, that was the second time. The first time I met him, and I got to ask him a question too. It was at DJ Thomas Hall or something. He did just a Q&A tour. It was fucking awesome.
Nice, man. Well, then let me relay. You ask him about kind of personal, a question of what he puts, kind of what of himself does he put into his work type question type thing, or what do you remember about his answer?
I honestly, I don't remember.
Nothing at all.
I just remember looking at him, and I remember feeling his hands, and I was like, his hands are a lot more rugged than I thought, which is not really what you should remember, but I don't know. It was awesome. It was an amazing experience. He asked me if my girlfriend was there, because he said that I was being really funny, and he's like, yeah, I'll get you laid, it'll impress her. And I was like, oh no, she's not here. He's like, let me call her. And so he calls her and leaves a voicemail, and he says, Bobby's dead, and then everybody in the crowd laughs, and he goes, just kidding. It was fucking great. I still have it.
That's
it's
so
awesome.
Cool, man. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of times on the podcasts I've heard of his when they are live that he's always trying to get the significant other of whoever is on stage with him to like give him a blowy after the
Right,
show or
right,
something.
right.
He's really got that's kind of what attracted
looking out
me
for
to him,
people.
is his sense of humor is hilarious, and he does
yeah.
not hold back one thing. And like, I think Red State's like definitely on his top best like films he's ever made.
Oh, I
for
love
sure.
Red State.
Yeah.
That Tusk was really surprisingly good.
Yeah,
Like,
that
really
was
good.
actually really. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed the entire. I didn't like get bored. I wasn't like, okay, this is ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
I stuck with it when I was watching it.
Yeah.
Well, he's a filmmaker. You're a filmmaker. So let me do to you what you did to him. Let me ask you.
Cool.
Like, if listeners go to Film-Makar.com, film and then makar.com.
That's right.
What should they click on first?
I think my prize video that's on there right now is a short film called The Widow's Toy. It's a film noir, and it's about rare action figures and lost love.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love film noir. I love toys, and I like love stories. So it's all three of those things. I have a new music video coming out soon. Hopefully, it's for a band called Teenage Bottlerocket. This will be the second.
Great.
Yeah,
I love them.
Really?
Yeah, I know them.
They're one of
weirdly.
my favorite fucking
Yeah, yeah.
bands ever. And it'll be the second video I've done for them. And oh my god, we're gonna get hit by cars.
I know, right?
It'll be the second video I've done for them, and it's zombie themed. And there's a lot of fucking shit that I wanted to do all my life.
Mm-hmm.
Got to do it with them in Ravenna, Ohio, which is the most random place in the world to shoot a music video.
Yeah.
Fuck it, like we did it. It was
What
awesome.
a cool thing to hear. Like, a lot of this podcast revolves around music and comedy that me and my friends do, but the other half of it kind of revolves around promoting Ohio as an artistic place. So it's nice to hear that you shot music videos in Ravenna.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like,
It's a really cool warehouse in Ravenna. It's abandoned. It used to be a plastic factory. We rented it for the day, and they came up right after Riot Fest. And then the next day, they started their tour in Kentucky. And then that one glorious Sunday, September 13th, we had a great time together.
Wow, man. That's amazing, because, as much as I like to pretend like I'm knowledgeable and referential in pop culture, I thought you were going to throw something at me that I didn't know, and the first thing you said to me I happen to know. Like, I really like, I did for a long time listen to their, I believe what was their first album, the black cover with the red
Total?
lettering. Total, was
Or
it?
Another Way.
Another Way,
Red lettering?
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's
Another
a great
Way,
album.
yeah, for some reason I had that on repeat for like a very long time. I guess maybe 2012 to 13, I played it a lot for some reason. I have no idea why.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. There was like some part of me wanted something like the idea of like Rancid or something, and I was
Yeah.
like, those guys have whatever the mood is, and they
Right.
just do it. And
I always equate them to the Ramones, like the
Yeah.
modern Ramones.
like the writing especially,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Like the songwriting, the chord structure, like the
Yeah.
themes, they're just very Ramones core. Another band that they toured with a lot that I did a video for called Masked Intruder. They're along the same lines, but they all wear different colored ski masks. And they sing pop punk songs about breaking into girls' houses and shit.
Really?
It's fantastic. Like, it's visually just brilliant. So that band is amazing, and they're all super cool dudes despite their criminal upbringing.
Yeah, did they really get brought up like that for real?
I was bound and gagged when I was with them a lot. So
Really?
yeah.
That's wild, man. Well, so the first, what was the name? Widow?
It's called The Widow's Toys.
So guys, if you go to Film-Makar.com, The Widow's Toys, click on that first to get acquainted with Bobby's work. And then I see that you kind of ran a few episodes of something like a pop culture type talk show.
It's called The Spoiler Room. My friend and I, it was part of my master's thesis, but my friend and I made a movie review show that didn't really last as being a movie review show because we never really reviewed a movie. It was just more of a satire of a review show. So it was just us dicking
Even better,
around.
right?
Yeah. It was just us dicking around, and like every episode became like its own little thing, like its own movie. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. We only did 5 episodes. I wish we'd have done more.
Because that looks like, if listeners like this show, I would say definitely look at the Spoiler Room on his website, because that's probably the closest thing to like conversational and podcasting. It's not a podcast, it's filmed like a talk show, but like it's the most like probably free associated stuff you have, right?
Oh, 100% yes.
Yeah. And what kind of things do you guys talk, like do you talk about movies exclusively?
It was mostly movies. Like the first episode was actually a recap of our Red State experience.
Oh, great.
And like there's video of that online. And also like the Oscars that year we talked about a lot. I think that was the year like Black Swan was out.
Okay.
And it was a lot of fun. And then second episode was like an homage to sequels. So it was, how are we going to up the ante on the first episode and a good sequel? Mm-hmm. Third episode was like a party to celebrate our third episode, because so few episodes get to number 3. Our fourth episode was a time travel episode. the 5th episode, or it was a time travel episode that involved traveling through time to stop the movie Inception from being made, because we both really did not like that movie.
Oh, nice.
And the 5th episode was a therapy session for us. Because we decided
that sounds like my favorite one.
Yeah, we decided to break it off, and then a therapist had to intervene.
Oh, so was it like this therapist intervened and then kept you together for episode number 5?
Yes.
Okay.
And he had like a sock puppet that he used to like do therapy to us and shit. It's my friend Craig. He did a killer job.
Okay. That sounds good, man. So yeah, I mean, listeners, if you just got like a sense of humor that maybe just comes off a little bit weird to your friends and family, and you're looking for an outlet, just check out Bobby Makar. And what are you doing these days? Since those episodes are in the past, and I became mostly acquainted with one called My Friend the Exorcist. That's on there.
Yeah, that's the one with Brandon.
Yeah, and that one's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
but what are you doing
Brandon.
like
How
now?
is Brandon?
Oh, he's awesome. I mean, I don't see him a whole lot because, of course, he has a kid, and he's
I
like,
didn't know that.
he has a kid. Yeah.
Oh my God! Shout out to Brandon's kid.
Yeah. Shout out, Elliot.
Brandon Hall, I love you.
Yeah.
Come back to my life.
Yeah, really.
That's crazy.
Same here, really, man. Because he's
Hall,
down the road from me, but he's busy.
Fuck you. You're so busy with you and your kid and your wife and your happy family. Suck it, Brandon. Just kidding. Hugs and kisses.
This is just straight to you. This is a podcast just to you, Brandon, as far as we're concerned. And my mom. That's it.
Your mom's going to listen?
So Mom and Brandon, go check out Film. You've both seen it already, probably.
I really
don't know if my mom has.
I apologize for saying suck it.
No, you can say whatever you like. You're saying it to both of them. Yeah, we have to get our conversations right, so we're saying dually to my mom and Brandon a message that can be transcended to both. Okay, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, what do you do?
To overcompensate, though, we were literally walking towards this church, so that makes us better.
It's a subconscious thing.
Right.
What are you doing right now, film-wise or project-wise, creatively, anything?
Well, I'm finishing up that Bottlerocket video, and hopefully that'll be out before Halloween.
Awesome. I'll keep my eye out for that.
It was an incredible endeavor, and largely an undertaking I put solely on myself in terms of organization and shit like that. After that, I desperately want to make a feature-length film before I die, so I should probably get started, because I'm not a young man anymore. But
how old are you?
30.
Okay,
Just turned
I'm
30.
31. Yeah.
Are you? Cool. Damn, we're still cool.
Yeah, I hope. But so cool. You're working on Teenage Bottlerocket video, and you want to make a feature length, which is awesome. You strike me as someone who, though you like to put humor into your work, you probably put a lot of yourself into it too. Is there any film, if you haven't named it already through other answers, that you put like the most of yourself into, like the one that hits home for you?
That's 1,000% accurate, I'd say. And I think that like people without money resort to putting themselves into stuff because yourself is cheaper than a fancy Michael Bay-esque explosion. So yeah, I would say so. There's a movie that I did in college called The Band Is Breaking Up. That's largely about me and a former friendship.
Is that a convenience store one?
Yeah, we rob a video store in order to
I saw some
buy
of that,
back.
if not the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think it's been too long though, but I think I've seen it.
Gotcha. Yeah, that one's a lot about me.
Cool. Yeah.
Exorcist is, I don't know, in a weird way about me. Widow's Toys is about a former relationship. Well, a relationship that didn't really come to fruition, but like, one that you idealize, kind of.
Yeah.
So it was like a what if I was a cool detective type character and like this girl I liked had a toy that I wanted kind of deal. Yeah, other than that, other stuff that I did earlier in college was a lot more of a reflection of myself. But like I said, like I really like zombies and shit, and like coming up with things that zombies could do that wouldn't normally be seen. Things like that. I don't know. A lot of what I do is in some way about me.
Okay. And would you say if the earliest stuff is the most about you, are you moving into some more formal approach as you get older where you're trying to remove yourself, or is it just something that's slightly less because you have a bit more craft, like, skill now or whatever?
Sure. If anything, I would really like to put more of myself in things.
Okay.
It's just I don't have the proper venue right now. Like the thing with doing music videos is that they have a built-in audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Where like I could spend a lot of money and a lot of time doing something and it might not get exposed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's tough. That's very challenging to like deal with.
Yeah.
To pour yourself into something and no one give a shit, like that's a tough experience. So music videos are great because they're a ton of fun and they're a venue to explore a lot of ideas, but also they have people who are going to watch them, and I'm fucking thankful for that.
Based on like the fans of the band. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that is a frustrating aspect about everything, because like back in maybe almost a few years ago, like say probably the height of it was 2008 and 9, we would come up to listeners. We're by Kent State University right now, where Bobby and I are walking. We come up to Kent State and we would write bullskit.com with chalk and all that. Yeah, and like that worked. It seemed to work. Like college kids would go, they don't have jobs sometimes, and they go and just watch if they didn't have homework, and it seemed to like work overall. And then like we'd revamp some editing on skits and put them out again, and kind of we wouldn't reboot in any way. We'd always like stay true to like, hey, we're gonna stay like pretty much like authentic and sloppy and like messy, but we're just gonna maybe like re-release this one or re-release that one and stuff. And like whenever we would do that, it would always take, just like with bands actually, it would take like 5 years, and then someone would mention that 5-year-old skit to me, and then 5 more years someone would mention one that was 5 years old from the point they mentioned it. Everything takes forever to get. You want to like turn around and go this way?
Yeah, that's
cool. Everything seemed to take a really long time, and then I had a friend of mine who he's in a band called The Zoo, who sometimes plays in Canada. They're from Youngstown, and he was like, I really love your videos. I show them to everybody I like go on the road with if they like have some time, or they're watching something on their phone in the back seat, or they're watching on their laptop.
Yeah.
I take them to your website, and he was like, and I'm always astonished when I like go to like some my favorite ones, and I see like 10 views, and I see like 20 views. He was like, why do you guys not have like thousands of views? And I was like, I can't control.
In your fucking heart.
Yeah, I can't control that. Like
it's horrible.
Like the most it's ever been controlled is like maybe once or twice on campus somebody recognized us and they were like, you guys are the guys from Bullskit. And I was like, well, I know that you're just somebody who I probably really like and happens to have my same sense of humor. It's not really like it's something blowing up. It was just like
still
timing.
Cool. Like if anyone like gives a shit, like you're lucky. You know what I mean?
And
like,
I didn't want to take it negatively, but like my first instinct was kind of like the instinct you have when you like watch Conan and you like connect with him, or you watch Letterman and you're like, that's my guy. No, Leno's my guy. You know, I was like, I know that guy's probably a lot like me. You know,
I feel like that's the absolute like highest compliment. Like we're I really like this because I see myself. Like because ideally like you're putting yourself and projecting yourself onto something, and someone can identify it, and like you're not so alone in this fucking terrible world. You know? I think that's really cool. Like I love Conan, and like I don't know, like I do identify with him. Like Woody Allen, I love Woody Allen. I identify with him, not because like I'm married to my stepdaughter or anything, but I wear glasses and I have a nasally voice.
And your characters, any characters I've seen in films you've made, this goes for Kevin Smith and Woody Allen, their line delivery has something to do with those two filmmakers. Like it's like not a comic booky line delivery, but it's like a theater line delivery. It's always like it's always said in a way that's entertaining. It's like amped up a bit. Yeah, I like that. It's like when Cheers does like when Carla's like, take me for instance, and they're like, yeah, and she's like, no, just take me. Like that kind of like you have those kind of like
jokes.
moods. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like anything I've ever written like has been like that, where it's just like I have this idea, what can I build around it? And I think I'm getting better at doing that. But definitely when I was younger, like in high school, the shit that I would make, I just cringe at now. I mean, I like that too, because, you know, it shows you how much you've changed. And I'm sure that's the same with you. I'm sure like early albums or fucking motorcycles, early albums or early sketches or even poems that you've written, like, are embarrassing to look at now.
From a certain point, yes. But I started to stand behind everything that happened after about 2005. Like something changed where like I told myself, stop it, stop doing that to yourself, just stand behind it. And I didn't like force it, but like because I feel I've been in the band since '99. There's plenty of things that like in the same band, same three guys since 1999. Yeah.
Holy
so
shit.
It's wild. Like there's plenty of things.
How many records do you have?
We have like the actual studio albums. It's really weird. We have 3 full-length studio albums, 1 EP, and a bunch of like appearances on compilations. So what happened though from 99 to 2005, before our first studio came out, were all these basement recordings that I now feel how you feel about your like where I don't think they're the worst thing, but I cringe and like,
and it's like part of you is like, oh, that's cool that I did that and I felt that way that one time. But like another part of you is like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, why didn't someone stop me from this? But like, I've always wanted to make a record, but I'm a shit guitar player. And
Oh, really?
like, I can't
No.
do lyrics. I'm just too talky for lyrics.
You seem like you'd just be naturally musical based on your personality.
I feel like I could like stand somewhere with a guitar around my neck and just talk to people. Like that feels right to me. But I don't know, like Craig Finn from the Hold Steady. Like he just
Hold Steady, I like
Oh
them.
my god,
Yeah.
that band. But that dude just wears a guitar and talks to people, and he doesn't even sing. He just kind of talks. Like if you listen to the live record, you can't sing along with that. It's just
Yeah,
him
he
talking.
does kind of like just like ramble through the verses and stuff. Yeah, you're right. He does do that.
And he'll just like go like pass by lyrics just
Right.
quickly. But he's a fucking genius. Like
And he does seem like that dude that just takes the easy like rhythm guitar part and lets
Yes.
everybody else do the work while
Yep.
he just
Yep.
Yeah, you're
the last
right.
time I saw them, like he came out with a guitar on. First song, played it a little bit, and he's like, "Listen, I'm not fooling anyone. I don't really play this. I'm gonna take it off because it hurts my back."
So he
and
just
like,
pulled it off?
Yeah, and everybody cheered, and I was like, "Yeah, you know, that's
Oh my
honest."
gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a great show.
I have a friend named Kurt who's in a band from like the Akron, Kent area called the Can't Evens that he just started, and he like
God, that's awesome.
it's a cool name.
That's
yeah,
a great name.
Yeah, and he's been a lot of really bands that I really admire, and he for some reason got this weird hookup where he like got up on stage during a Hold Steady show and proposed to his girlfriend like during their show. So I think it was a real trip for him and the band like to have that happen. I think
awesome.
they're both just big fans, and it just and I'm sure like now that you say that about the singer, I'm sure it was very like I'm sure it was like eloquently facilitated by the singer.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure it was like a real cool part, or like a party vibe because of his personality. What I
super
assume.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's super cool.
yeah. So I was excited when they said that. I think that like music and things like that with like old albums or old like films. Some people still, it's cool to have that stuff sometimes out there because there's probably going to be one or two people that go to your website and find something that they're like, this is my favorite one. You're like, that's your favorite one. Like, so it is like, you're not just doing it for yourself. You're definitely trying to entertain people. Like,
sure. I mean, I'm biased though. Like, I hate everything I've ever touched.
Yeah,
but like, like I also enjoy it because I tried. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
like,
why? What is
like,
it that you should enjoy about it necessarily? Like, how far outside of yourself can you possibly get? Like, it's not really for you. It's for everybody else.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
And you just look for the mistakes because you're there. You see like everything outside of the frame. You see that like the dude's holding the boom mic is like sweating or something like that. That's all you think about, or where the light stands are, shit like that. And like I feel that ruins it. It really breaks that fourth wall. And also like I said, it's hard to do movies with no money. And so if you don't have money, like you really have to try. And even most of those suck. So eventually I like to get to the point where it doesn't suck as much.
Yeah, I think you're right to think like somewhat technically about it here and there just to like keep in control what you can keep. But you're right, if you think too much like that, it ruins everything. I've had people comment on this podcast and say, come on man, go get some better mics, go get your gear up. And I was like, can you hear what we're saying? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, that's all I want to know.
Right.
Like I'm sorry to be such an imperfectionist.
Oh
but
shit, there's a green
oh
light.
Man, we're gonna get hit by cars because I'm not paying attention.
Like this is different, like walking and talking.
Yeah.
Like usually I can't do both at the same time.
It's hard.
But like this is an interesting like cardio podcast kind of deal.
Yeah. And it gets us like moving, like we're talking fast and stuff, but I think the listeners are still picking up what we're laying down.
Later on you could like to promo this, you could get like some cool sweatbands with like your podcast name embroidered on them.
Yeah.
Sell them and shit. Water bottles.
Yeah. It'll be all about walking and talking.
The Lee Boyle pedometer.
Yeah.
I like that.
Nursery podcast. And then like people, dump, you do the thing where you dump water on yourself and all that.
Yeah.
Or you dump the cup on your face and keep
you short
walking.
out the microphone.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'd be like,
awesome.
this is why I don't ever get good gear. And this is why we can't have nice things, whatever you want to say.
I like that.
Yeah. But and it's not because I don't care. Obviously I care to an extent because there were a bunch of home demo albums that we sold at shows that I still think were good, but I now cringe when I hear.
Right.
So, and same with Bullskit. There's plenty of like old Bullskits that we have either smoothed out in the editing or taken away. So I'm with you, but it's like to only an extent can you, like if you rewatch some of your favorite sitcoms, the booms and the shot, does it make it any less funny? No. Could make it more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, it's just about the suspension of disbelief. And like you said, you can never suspend your own disbelief when you're the one trying to get other people to do it. And so like that part's really disenchanting, I suppose you could say. But also like I don't know, there's a part of me who's like, well, I touched this, I ruined it, like, it sucks because of me, everything bad about it is because of me, or even if it's okay, it still sucks because I did it, you know what I mean?
Right.
There's like that self-deprecation that you just kind of have to work through, and I'm still in that process of working through hating everything.
Does anybody ever tell you to stop being self-deprecating? I've had like people yell at me about it, like they've been like, hey, don't say that. Don't say that. You have to walk around like you're the best thing in the world. And I'm like, I don't agree with that either.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, no, I think you have to, like anything, like there's a balance in life.
Right.
And like you have to achieve that balance. My girlfriend especially, like she fucking can't stand, hey, is this okay? Do you think this is all right? Do you think this, like, I know it annoys the hell out of her.
Does it?
Oh, it has to. Like, I don't know.
Just being kind of neurotic about. Yeah. Right.
And like, and it's not even neurotic. It's just like terrified. Like, I suck. I'm gonna suck forever. You know what I mean?
Is she honest?
I'd like to think so.
Is she the sounding board? Is she the first like draft person?
Yeah. Well, not necessarily. She's a later draft because I'm afraid. Okay. I'm afraid of her opinion because I want her to like it and think that I'm cool. So she comes into play when a few other people have seen stuff, and then I'll show her and I'll just hope that she thinks it's okay.
Well, that's healthy enough.
Yeah.
I guess you can walk this way or go a different way back.
That's a good idea. But I want to impress her.
Yeah.
You know? Like I'm not exactly what you'd call muscular. I don't have a lot of money. Like I got limited options here. I might as well show her a nice picture I shot.
That's awesome, man. Well, what do you think of the backdrop of Ohio for what you do as a filmmaker?
I love Ohio. Like this, Ohio is my home. Like how can you write about anything? Like you said, like put yourself into stuff. Like this is what I am. I'm Ohio. To a degree, and like that's what I really appreciate about your podcast. Like it's focusing on things that are going on in Ohio that don't have to do with Ohio State football, and like that's awesome. Like fuck Ohio State football. Just kidding, June's parents, and if you're listening.
Well then, what do you think of yourself, like overall in Ohio? Like, does Ohio have any spiritual qualities to you? Have you become like religious as someone raised in the Bible Belt, or are you more of like an atheist or agnostic? Or
I grew up Catholic. I guess I'm a casual Catholic. I definitely am a huge believer in God. But I think if you grow up Catholic, you're always Catholic. Even atheists who grew up Catholic are still Catholic. It's a personality type, and I would consider myself to be extremely Catholic, based on my personality. Because I'm guilty all the time. Like I always feel bad about something. Like things like that.
Okay.
Because my Savior died on a cross for my sins. Like that's a tough ticket, man.
Yeah.
But thank God he did. Oh, thank him he did.
So did you come, is this a roundabout conclusion, or have you felt Catholic your entire life and known that you felt Catholic?
No, I don't know. Like, that's a hard question. I feel like my parents said this is the way to be, and as a kid, I didn't question it. But then, like, as an adult, like, I started to question, like, is that really the way to be? And like, I definitely don't know if I subscribe to, like, everything Catholicism stands for, but I definitely like it as a template.
Okay, well then that's probably nice not to subscribe, like overly subscribe, but then you can kind of use it for what you want it for.
Right, absolutely. And like, I don't know, I just really try to be a good dude. Like that's Jesus, good dude. You know what I mean? Like overall, I think that's the example he was trying to sell. Not I died for you. You know,
right.
That's again like a really harsh thing in general. Like that's a harsh thing. But to be a good dude is much better than to die for you.
That makes sense. And so you mentioned guilt, obviously, like
all the time.
When you feel guilt based on like creating things and being a filmmaker, do you like have like you get angry at like yourself or others based on like the world of film? Like, I guess my question is like, what's the angriest you've been in the world of like what you're doing? What's the most frustrating moment as a filmmaker you've ever experienced?
I think I experienced stuff like that because to me, like nothing's ever right. Like it always could be better. And I feel like I've sacrificed a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money, a lot of education, willingly so. And I'm happy to do it in order to be the best I can be and get better daily. But then I guess the biggest kick in the pants is seeing like the uprising of Vine. Yes. And like the shitifying of YouTube. I don't know if shitifying is a word, but like just anything that you could possibly do you can shoot and put on YouTube, and everybody's cool with that. Like it's you have to sift through it to find good material.
And some of it only has 10 views.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's tragic. Like it's a really weird system. But like some kid like crying, like some baby crying in a funny way can get like 15 million views.
Yeah.
And just like, what the fuck? Like, what am I even trying? Like, I should just get Brandon Hall's kid to cry on camera.
Right.
Like, you know, shout out again, Brandon Hall.
Shout out to Brandon. Well, listeners, I'm going to try, sometimes my words fail me, but I'm going to try to sum up what you should have learned from this episode, from talking to Bobby Makar. I say first and foremost, be a little hard on yourself. That's what Bobby's doing. He's hard on himself. Sometimes he can't even put down the project he's working on because he's obsessing, but that makes for some good stuff sometimes. Sometimes I know you don't know it, but I think sometimes out of the, whatever the expression is, cold a diamond, whatever, you do good stuff. I think you do good stuff. And I think the listeners, if they go to your site, will think the same. There's plenty of people in Ohio that share our sense of humor, even if it doesn't look like it sometimes under the veil of like football and stuff. There's plenty of people, especially in this town, in Kent, college kids that probably appreciate what you do. So, we just got hit by a bus. Secondly, and like maybe less importantly, back to the Teenage Bottlerocket thing, you mentioned that like their platform to get a music video going is easier because they've got that fan base established. So like,
Absolutely.
The point of that and the point of this podcast is that like through one medium you can hopefully connect to another and another and another. You and I already connected based on Teenage Bottlerocket just by accident.
Absolutely.
So like hopefully that encourages our listeners as creative people. And again, I'm not talking about like going out and saying, look at me. I'm just saying if you feel like creating, and most likely you do if you're listening to this, like make sure you create all you can. Like put it down, like take a breath, but don't hold back. Just make cruddy things till you make good things, right?
Yeah, you have to shit before you shit well, I guess.
Yeah, man. Exactly.
I mean, I equate like life in general, and I guess like the quote-unquote creative process to a smoke machine. Like when you first start using a smoke machine, you're not sure if it's working right or if it's on fire because it's smoke. So you just have to wait it out and see if it's okay or if it's a disaster.
I see that. We're walking between cars. Our lives are...
I'm having
we're
flashbacks
hanging
to
in the
Kent
balance.
Halloween right now.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Okay, well then, are there any last words you'd like to impart? Sometimes we have our listeners say, look, Mom, we're on a podcast. Could you say that?
Oh, yeah, look, Mom, I'm on a podcast.
Awesome. And is there any last words you'd like to impart to everybody after they go and check out Film-Makar.com?
No, man, I just really appreciate you meeting up with me, and we've been talking about this for a while, and I really respect all the stuff you do, and I'm very glad to be considered. Like, this is really nice. I really
of course,
appreciate
man.
it.
You're the ideal, interviewee by far. So yeah, thank you for doing this, and keep making great stuff, and the feeling's mutual as far as the respect and the creative, admiration goes.
Thank you.
Hey, guys, thank you for listening. Everybody have an awesome day.
Hi, this is Liz from The Village Bicycle, and you're listening to Nursery, a podcast from Ohio's Creative Voice.